Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our video review of Pancrase Truth 3 and Pancrase Truth 4, held on the same day, April the 7th, 1996. The only video I could get at this event was an amalgamation of the two events, with some of the matches edited down, so I apologise, but this has allowed me to record the whole event in one go. You may be wondering who this fresh-faced youngster in a gi jacket and shuto gloves is. Well, this is Ikuhisa, currently known as the Punk Minowa, better known to the hardcore MMA fan as Minowa Man, the Super Hulk, defeater of giants and humanity's best hope if 6-armed, 7-foot aliens come to challenge us to fight hand-to-hand for the survival of our species. He made his debut at the Lumax Cup of 1996, held between our most recent Pancrase event and this one, losing in a spirited effort that involved many a rolling leglock attack. The reason we have shown his debut match as our introduction is as Minowa Man's history and that of Pancrase as a promotion are well and truly entwined. He has gone out into the world after his career in Pancrase to fight for its reputation, the reputation of shoot-style pro wrestling, and for himself. And he has most recently returned to Pancrase for his 113th fight. For if ever there was a man of Pancrase, it is truly Ikuhisa the Punk Minowa. As for today's Pancrase event, well, we have an 8-man ranking tournament, as well as a few singles matches involving some up-and-comers and some settled stars, although there is still no title unification belt between Bas Rutten and Frank Shamrock, because Pancrase still runs itself like a wrestling show. Hopefully I haven't run out of East Minowa Man footage to run underneath this, and I apologise if my commentary is slightly odd today. I will soon find myself back in fight camp, so I've decided to have a whiskey or two while I can. But enough blathering, and let's get on with the show. We open on a short training montage or warm-up montage of our mid-carders who have found themselves in the Pancrase ranking tournament. We have Ryushi Nagasawa, Yoshiki Takahashi, Larry Papadopoulos, Takaku Fuke, Guy Mezga, who had most recently had his knee ruined, as you can tell by the brace, Leon Van Dyke, and Vernon Tiger White. Oh, and Manabu Yamada, who is currently riding a win streak, but has taken a couple of months off, possibly due to an injury, but I unfortunately do not exactly know. We'll just listen to the man say, Pancrase Ranking Tournament. And here we have Guy Mezga versus Takaku Fuke. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but Takaku is a bit overmatched. Nice hopping sidekick from Guy Mezga there, and an interesting guard from Fuke, and he's shot in on a single, and Guy has completely shut it down with a nice quarter Nelson, I believe. He's spun to the back, and Takaku is rolled to his back flat so as to prevent Guy from taking the back. Guy's gone to shin on neck ride because he's been learning from Suzuki, and he looks pretty brutal in that position, and he's working for that far arm. He's also grinding his forearm in poor Fuke's face. And we've got a star swipe, so obviously a bunch of that fight was probably just Guy Mezga sitting on Fuke. Good body punches from Guy. Now, I was thinking about this since my last time where I told you all that Guy had an excellent sort of clinch game, and I think that was due to his confidence as a wrestler. He didn't have to worry about getting taken down, so he could throw strikes in that clinch because he knew if anyone was going to take anybody down, it was going to be Guy. Nice lead hand slap there, good body punch, followed by a lead hand slap on the exit. Nicely done. And Fuke's come winging in with a nice hit, but he hasn't really gotten the best of that. Good counter hits from Guy, and a good clinch knee. Fuke is sort of the young boy of the first generation of Pancrase fighters. He was in, I don't know if he was in the UWF, but he definitely was in the Pro Wrestler Fujiwara Gumi. And he jumped ship along with Funaki and the rest, but he never was of that same quality. He did all right, and he had a couple of good wins. He beat Lucia after Lucia had just knee-barred Masakatsu Funaki, so that gives you an idea of his strength, but he wasn't ever as good as either Suzuki or Funaki. And he hasn't been a top competitor in Pancrase for a while, and he's getting the snot kicked out of him by Guy Mezga here. And Guy is sprawled on Fuke's takedown attempt and taken top position again, which is the traditional Guy Mezga position. So he'll grind his forearm in Fuke's face and probably go to knee ride for a bit. And we've had another star swipe, so Guy obviously sat on top of Fuke for a while. He's checked a few of Fuke's kicks. Good long body punch there that looked like it hurt, followed by a clinch knee. And he's caught Fuke's knee and swept his other leg out from underneath him for a nice takedown there. But they're under the ropes, so I don't know how long the ref will let this go. Just a note on the format of this tournament. This was held in the morning of the day, and the first matches have a time limit of 10 minutes, and the second round, I believe, has a time limit of 20, and the final has a time limit of 30 minutes. Interesting little low kick there, but he got countered with a slap. Gone for a long body punch and hit a nice liver kick. Well done, Fuke. But he's eaten a solid inside low kick. Spinning shit. So if ever you're a fighter and you've run out of ideas, throw spinning shit because it looks great. And Guy's thrown it back because if anyone's going to throw spinning shit, it's going to be the karateka, Guy Mezga. Good body punch to counter Fuke's shots and another one. And Fuke's pulled guard, so he's obviously completely out of ideas by this time in the match. He's trying to overhook and get control of Guy Mezga, but Guy's going to be able to ride him fairly well from here. And I believe that's the end of the match. So that didn't actually take too long on the video, but that's 10 minutes in real time. And if that's the highlights of the match, it mustn't have been that exciting. I imagine it was just Guy Mezga sitting on Fuke for the entire time. And here is Fuke looking particularly unhappy. These Japanese guys, they take victory and they take losses very hard both. And here we have Leon Dick versus Manabu Yamada. Leon Dyke is, of course... is it Dick or Dyke? I think I'm going to say Dyke. Leon Dyke is Bas Rutten's main training partner and grappling dummy, and he's hit a nice sprawl. And he could stop takedowns better than Bas, which is interesting. But I believe it's because he was less confident on the bottom, so he was more willing to stop them. Ooh, nice exchange of high kicks there. Manabu Yamada always had great high kicks, because he started out in Shuto, learning from Tiger Mask, and he just hit a very nice... he caught a clinch knee from Leon and hit a nice inside trip from it. So yeah, Manabu learned, well, he would have started learning Shuto, literally called Shuto, at Satoru Sayama's Super Tiger Mask Gym or whatever, Super Tiger Gym, before he jumped ship to Pancrase in I think it was in early 90, or late 93 probably. Yeah, he jumped ship to Pancrase in 93. And he'd gotten a bit more of a hang of the submission game because his first few losses were by knee bar and armbar. And Leon's doing pretty well. He's thrown up this interesting armbar, but Manabu's postured well out of it, and he spun for a knee bar because that's exactly what you do for your Japanese grappler. You see a hint of a submission and you chase it with all that you are worth. And he switched legs, which is an excellent thing to do. Often you'll see people chase a leg and then the person who's having their leg threatened will recover the leg and the guy will just sort of go, oh, I missed that, and lie back to side control. But there is a moment where you can switch to the opposite leg. This happened to me in my most recent MMA fight, but I still lost that one. Nice toe hold attempt from Manabu Yamada here. And Leon was thinking about the ropes, but he managed to kick his foot free. And he's not pulling on the heel. And this referee is objecting to the Bas Rutten Achilles sort of, not Achilles, toe push and heel pull. Not quite a heel hook, but it's definitely a heel hook. So Leon's given up on that and tried to take top position. And now he is sort of in the smash pass spot. And that is an absolute bastard to be in. Less so when the person on top of you isn't throwing punches. And Manabu's doing a good job to... swing himself out and attack the leg again. But yeah, being tied up and curled up like that, it is not fun. And Manabu's trying for a straight ankle lock, but he's shorter than Leon, so Leon's got a mechanical advantage in that position. Manabu might be able to get it, but I don't think so. Manabu got a great one against Frank Shamrock in the King of Pancrase tournament. He got a brilliant straight ankle lock that made Frank tap. And we're in the... see, normal leg entanglement, and Leon's gone for a toe hold, but he's on the shoe, and he has missed it, and he's gotten into a toe hold race with a superior leg locker, and so Manabu Yamada is our winner, and he's saying he's got 2 more men to beat in this tournament. That was a good little match. Good little leg lock fight. Looked like the Eddie Bravo Invitational. Vernon Tiger is my stripper name White versus Yoshiki doesn't give a fuck and is always hurt, Takahashi. So Yoshiki Takahashi has his right elbow taped up because he's obviously decided not to tap to somebody in training. And he's gone for a standing guillotine there, but he's been shoved to the ground by Vernon White, who's really come into his own. Tiger did not have the best run to start his Pancrase career. I think he lost all but one of his first 5 matches, but after that he really he got the hang of it and sort of stopped relying on his taekwondo and started using it in conjunction with an actual mixed fighting ability. Nice pair of high kicks there, and a nice left slap after his high kick, and he's kicked Takahashi straight in the cock, and Takahashi's dick has been taking an absolute pile of punishment in his last 2 fights because Lucia kicked him in the junk a couple of times as well. Takahashi, poor bloke. So yeah, Takahashi is just, for some reason, permanently injured. He In his first 2 fights, I think he didn't have anything taped up, and then after that he had one of his whole quads was taped up. He always had an elbow taped up, and then he got his shin snapped in half by Bas Rutten with an inverted heel hook and was out for a year and a half. And then since he's come back, he's always had at least one joint covered in tape. The boys have shaken hands and they're ready to go again. So we'll see how we go. Nice. Vernon's got some real snap and confidence to his kicks now. I wonder what's gotten into him. Oh, nice high kick too. Vernon did suffer his sort of most embarrassing loss recently against oh, that was awesome. I'm an absolute mark for that spot. So Vernon's thrown a mad spinning back kick or spinning hook kick, I'll call it, and Takahashi's ducked under it and grabbed a single leg, and I am an absolute mark for that attack. And now Vernon swung himself under for a leg lock as Takahashi's contemplated going for an Ipa, being too slow, and now they're all fucked up and buckled in the ropes. And Vernon's got that leg fairly well isolated, but he's still got Takahashi's weight on it, so he's not going to be able to get any decent lock going. But Takahashi's slowly crumpling down as the ropes get involved. And I think the ref's going to call a break fairly recently. Oh, there we go. Oh, fairly soon. And we've fast-forwarded a bit in the match. So I guess I won't tell you. Vernon lost to Greg Smith. He got wrestled on and couldn't really get anything off. And after that, he really, really started having a go. And he has a losing record in the end of his career, but he gave everybody he fought a hard fight, apart from 1 or 2 people who blasted him because he got concussed a bunch at the Lion's Den, as far as I can tell. Now he's going for a standing guillotine, and he's dropped to guard, which is stupid and you should never do. But he's got the high elbow, and he's under Takahashi's chin, but I don't know if he'll be able to finish it. Because if Takahashi's head pops free, Vernon's now just decided to be on the bottom. And yeah, Takahashi separated his grips and his head's popped free, and so now he's on top in Vernon's guard. This is why you don't pull guard on guillotines. If you've got a guillotine, snap the guy down or turn him over with it. And then take top position. And Takahashi's sitting back for a pass. Vernon considered feeding himself under for a leg. Oh, he's kicking up for a triangle, but he's let Takahashi pass him. However, being from the Lion's Den, bam! Underhook escape, and he's on that choke straight away. And Takahashi's grabbed the ropes for the escape. So yeah, Lion's Den guys, not so great in guard, but the moment you pass their guard, bang, they explode up and out. And he just grabbed that underhook and was out the back and on that choke straight away. Nicely done, Vernon. And we are underway again. Little double kick. Nice slap from Vernon. Oh, and he's eaten a pair from Takahashi. Takahashi really was a brawler. Yeah, he's hit a nice... Oh, he almost sprawled out on that takedown, but Vernon got him down. And Takahashi, you should be ashamed. You were a high school champion wrestler. You should be better than that, my man. But Takahashi really didn't care, as long as he could get in there and swing. Oh, and Vernon's under his chin. Oh, working more of a face lock there, and that does not look comfortable. So Takahashi should not have given up his back there. But yeah, Takahashi was a champion high school wrestler. And he was quite good at wrestling offensively anyway, as you can see by that time he sort of slung Ken Shamrock all over the ring. And they've pulled Vernon up here because those sort of elbow grinding out forearms on the back of the throat have been called an elbow, so I think they might give him a yellow card for that. Yeah, Takahashi wrestled in high school and he was quite good offensively, but his defensive wrestling was somewhat lacking, mostly because he didn't really care and he was just, as long as he could step forward and swing, he was happy. And they've given Vernon a red card, so they're actually tied for rope escape and down points now. Switching stances from Vernon Tiger White. He's managed to... Ooh, nice left body kick followed by left hand. That's always interesting. If you throw a kick on the same side and then throw a punch after it, it levers into the punch and adds some power. And he's putting some heat on those slaps, Vernon is. Nice exchange of kicks there. That was pretty cool. Takahashi outside low kicked Vernon, which spun him around, but he turned the spin into a kick, and then Takahashi took the kick and threw one back. That was pretty awesome. Interesting sort of backwards lean from Vernon. Good front kick to the body there, and he also hit Takahashi's injured elbow. And has Takahashi hurt his knee, or has he taken another kick to the dick? He's not happy about something. That didn't look like a dick kick to me, but Takahashi's reacting like it is one, and he's not happy. And the ref hasn't seen it as a dick kick either, and he's calling it down and he's counting at him. Well, I don't know if he's done that yet. This is the second time I've watched this fight, but I don't have sound while I'm recording commentary. But he's hopped up and he's ready to go again. And he's not happy, so that's 2 lost points for Takahashi. And his dick still hurts! Poor bloke. Here's the thing though, if you get kicked in the dick and then you get hit in the body, the nerve pathway for your testicles and penis actually goes through your body. And that is the time limit, and Takahashi loses due to losing 2 lost points. So yeah, your testicles start off inside your body, sort of around your back near where your kidneys are, and then as you mature as a fetus, they move around to the front. And the nerves still run along that pathway. So if you get hit in the body after you've been hit in the dick, those nerves still fire and you still feel like you're being hit. And they're currently talking to the referee about why he called it down there, and he says, oh, I didn't see a low blow. I think. I don't speak Japanese. Also, the young boy who waved you away from Takahashi's door was Keiichiro Yamamiya. I believe he would debut at the 96 Neo Blood tournament. I don't really know, though. Here we have Larry Papasan Papadopoulos, Australian MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu pioneer. First Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu man, although not black belt at the time, in Pancrase. And current amateur sort of promoter in Australia. Although I don't know if he still does that, because Ziska shut down. He hit a nice takedown and spun for Ryushi's back, but Ryushi pulled him, hula hooped him round, and so Larry ended up on the bottom in guard. But he's hit an arm drag and a switch. It's very nice. Nicely done, Larry, so he's taken top. Here we have Yanagisawa, 6'4", Japanese karateka, member of Puresu Fujiwara Gumi, and always the fact that comes up is he was the 4th ranked fighter in Japan, but no one can tell me what in or what ranking organization that was. Maybe it was the sort of pre-Pancrase rankings they were given, but yeah, I can't tell. Nice floating control from Larry. He's shutting down the underhooks and overhooks and always shifting between control positions, so Yanagisawa can't get settled. But then he decides to go for an armbar from mount and starts eating body punches. So another thing you shouldn't do as a fighter is go for an armbar from mount. It's not a safe submission and you'll lose the position. You might get it 1 time in 10, but it's not a high percentage. Much better off stepping off to side control and going for Americanas and Kimuras, or going for a head arm choke. Those were the sort of submissions that can keep you the position. Larry's popped out again, and Yanagisawa's grabbed a single leg, and Larry's trying to hook himself over onto Yanagisawa's back. And we'll see how he goes. And he's hooking under that far arm. And he might go for a rear triangle. No, he's trying to switch back off to the armbar. But Yanagisawa's sort of keeping his head buried in his forearm. So Larry can't kick the other leg across his face and prevent himself from getting stacked. And so Yanagisawa is back on top in Larry's guard. And Yanagisawa is stepped across and spun to attack for a toe hold. And Larry's got some sort of porous leg lock defense, and Inagaki is mucking around with his grips, and he's actually he's got Larry's toes, and Larry's having trouble, and it'd be very difficult to get out of Yanagisawa's leg lock entanglement because he is a tall dude. But Larry's doing all right. He's doing the right things. Oh, except he's fallen back and he's in a bad spot. Sit up, Larry. Sit up. Don't bother about getting past the leg. Just hook the arms and just keep him off your legs. Yanagisawa is still chasing that toe hold. And he's gone for a gotch grip, gotch toe hold grip, sort of reverse. That's very interesting. And he's pulling on that, and Larry has tapped. And that was the last representative of the first set of Australians in Pancrase. Larry, Alex Cook, Greg Smith, and all would move on to greener pastures after this. And look at that face. Yanagisawa is very happy. So here we have the sort of preliminary rounds of the tournament. So we have Guy versus Manabu and Tiger versus Ryushi. And here we go with Guy versus Manabu Yamada. So this will be interesting because they both got very good stand-up. And Manabu's quite good off his back, and Guy is quite a good wrestler, so that'll be fun. Nice sort of faking slap there, and a nice lead leg high kick from Manabu. Good inside low, and a clinch knee from Guy, and he's hooked around to back body lock and smashed Manabu down to the ground. And he's got inside wrist control, and he's stepping up for the back, and he's got a single back hook at the moment. But Manabu's pretty flat, so he probably won't be able to turn into Guy. And yeah, Guy looks like an absolute bastard to have on your back like this, because he can wrestle, and it'd just be many years of him practicing being on people. I don't know if Guy ever won any state championships, but in his interview, one of his interviews for the UFC, he says it doesn't matter if I didn't win any state championships or I didn't wrestle in college. I'm an American wrestler, which means I'm one of the best wrestlers in the world. And you know what? He's not wrong. Interesting Koichigari shove there by Guy Mezger. So sort of outside trip shove. And Manabu doesn't give a shit about it. 1-2 by Mezger into a headlock snap down, and Manabu is a bit stuck here. So he is outsized and outmuscled by Guy Mezger, so he can't get any of his funky submission work off. That's unfortunate. Because for a little period there, Manabu Yamada was a serious star for Pancrase, and Guy has got that choke on. And Manabu's he's trying to push up the elbow, but that's not a great defense. And he's trying to ankle lock Guy's feet, but Guy's feet aren't crossed. He's managed to get out of that one, and he's gone belly down. And so Guy's probably going to cross face him and just be a bit of a prick about it. Yes, he's flattened him out, and he's punched that choke through, and he's got that one this time. That's right on the throat. And so he's put an arm on the ropes for the escape. Ready to go. So yeah, Manabu Yamada was seriously a big star because he beat both Funaki and Suzuki, and he went 30 minutes with Shamrock, but things don't quite work out as well for him as you would think with that resume, because he's a middleweight and he's fighting light heavyweights and heavyweights. And he's not even a big middleweight. He's 5'9", so he'd probably cut to welter these days. Good slaps from Guy Mezger. He's got a reach advantage there. He's working on 1-2. He's got that whizzer, Russian drag, and he's to Manabu's back, and huge German suplex. And Manabu landed right on his shoulder, and that did not look good. Guy's punching for a choke here, and I don't know how Manabu's shoulder is, because when you land on that like that, it hurts. He's defending this choke all right, though. The guy's just sort of sitting on his back, not getting anywhere. Oh, he's punching under. He's pulling on that arm, and oh, that looked like it tweaked, because Manabu didn't. He made a particularly unhappy face when Guy pulled back on that inside wrist. Oh, and Guy stood up, and Manabu's rolling that shoulder, and yeah, that thing's hurt. Lead leg high kick from Guy Mezger, good knee to the body, and he's snapped Manabu down again. And he's under the throat, and look at that grimace. That is not a happy man. Oh, he's managed to turn into Guy. But now he's got Guy on top of him in side control, and Guy is attacking the hurt shoulder. And you can see something's weird with the attachment of the muscles at the top of that one. It just doesn't quite look right, so be worried about that. Guy's gone to knee on belly, and he's trying to punch through for the double wrist lock. Manabu's doing a good job of holding it in, but they're being broken and stood up, and he's not happy. Yeah, he's gonna... Yeah, look, you see the way that the deltoid attaches there to his clavicle and his scapula. It's not right. Something's wrong. So they've called in the doc, and they're going to check it out, and I think something's broken. I think maybe AC joint separation? Yeah, that'd be about right with the way he hit the ground there. That was a real nice German... and they've jumped to taping it to hold it still. Yeah, there was a real nice German suplex from Guy, and he's a strong wrestler when he wants to be, and he can use high flying techniques, and Manabu doesn't want you to pull his hand up. Just, why does everyone ruffle Manabu's hair? Oh well, our winner by awesome suplex is Guy Mesga. For Manabu Yamada. Oh, and Guy's a bit ginger on that knee, and that was the one that Bas Rutten reverse toe hold at the our previous episode. So I don't know how long between uploads it's going to be, but he's ginger on that leg. And Manabu's talking about, oh, he got me in a back body lock and suplexed me directly on my shoulder. That was awesome. Yeah, it's not a happy man. Still, Manabu Yamada is a character, and this is not the last we will see of him. He continues fighting in Pancrase until 2000, so we've got 4 more years of fun striking. Right, Ryushi Yanagisawa versus Vernon Tiger White. Nice flurry of strikes by Yanagisawa, but he's committed to hitting, and Tiger's decided, no, enough of that, I'm going to double leg you. And so he's going to work from inside Yanagisawa's guard. And we'll see how Tiger's guard passing is, because it might be completely reliant on the other guy throwing up a no-hope triangle. You never know. Nothing much going on here. Yanagisawa's trying for wrist control and an arm drag, and Vernon's just sort of hanging out with his head buried and his base wide so he doesn't get swept. And they've skipped ahead, so they've obviously gotten stood up. Nice left kick and right kick and right hand by Yanagisawa, but another double leg by Vernon. And Yanagisawa's mucking around with Vernon's arms, and Vernon's T-Rexing, working on solid defense, and he's postured up and out. And look at that base. That is a man who does not want to be swept. He's trying for a neck crank. Oh, he's gone to gift wrap, which is interesting. Gift wrapping Yanagisawa from inside his own guard, which is, yeah, it's an interesting little thing. And Yanagisawa has recovered from that, and he's trying to flower sweep Vernon, I think. And Vernon's gone to a cradle. Oh, not a complete cradle. He's just neck cranking Yanagisawa inside Yanagisawa's guard. You can do a pass here. In fact, Vernon should be able to do it if he hooked around Yanagisawa's leg and kept circling around towards Yanagisawa's head. He'd be able to pass the guard there, but he obviously hasn't watched that Randy Couture instructional. But he's hit a pass this time. Nice smash pass, and he spun for the knee bar and missed it, and now he's in a leg lock fight with Ryushi Yanagisawa, which is a bit dangerous. But Vernon did go to the Lion's Den, and Ken Shamrock always loved his leg locks, so maybe he's learned a thing or two. And he's working on a figure 4! It looks like a, nice straight ankle lock from that figure 4 lockup. And Yanagisawa's grabbed the ropes. That is really cool. Vernon White hit a shoot figure 4. that is something I wouldn't have expected to see. So, Ric Flair's gotten better, apparently. He's out of that coma and he's still alive, so the spirit of Ric Flair was with Vernon White that night. So we're back at striking distance. Good long body kick from Vernon, and he switched stances. Vernon had a taekwondo background. Oh, nice body kick from Yanagisawa, but Vernon's eaten that like a sandwich and taken him down with it and stepped straight over into mount. Yeah, Vernon had a taekwondo background, I believe. And Ken Shamrock, when he was trying to train for Don Nakaya Nielsen, was going around places in America going, I've got an actual fight coming up. I'd like to train people at sort of karate dojos. And they were just sending him on, but he managed to find Scott Bisak, Vernon White, and I believe James Matthews, who since left the Lion's Den, but found those early guys and they started the original Lion's Den. Oh, and Yanagisawa's going for a toe hold. He's reached across Vernon's, from underneath Vernon's mount and decided to chase a leg lock. And apparently Vernon got something inside Yanagisawa's face. Oh, maybe he was going chin to the eye. Yeah, he was going chin to the eye, which is nice and old school. A yellow card for attempting to use the chin to the eye submission, which is forbidden in Pancrase. But yeah, if ever you're in a street fight situation, grinding your chin in the other guy's eye socket is pretty valid. Or if you ever go into a Russian ballet judo competition. Nice long body punch from Yanagisawa. Good straight kick from Vernon. Since Vernon got better wrestling defense and more confident in his grappling, his kicks are better because he can throw them with confidence. And he's ducked under for the knee bar because he's from the Lion's Den and that's what you do when someone has your back. But he's missed it and Yanagisawa has gotten mount. And he's gone to Z mount because he's been talking to Funaki, but he's missed it. And Vernon has escaped and tried to pull guard on a guillotine and is wound up on the bottom with absolutely nothing. So once again, we have learned today, don't pull guard on a guillotine. And Yanagisawa was working a pass. There we go, he's round to side control. And we'll see what he can do. He might kick his other leg over the top of Vernon's head, go to neck scissors. Or sort of leg pinch on the head. Break, stand up, because you haven't given up position 4 times, and your giraffe legs were under the ropes. So here we go again. Back at the distance. But yeah, you'll see this with strikers in MMA. As they get more confident in their grappling, their striking becomes better because they can throw with confidence and they aren't worried about the takedown. Telegraphed high kick from Yanagisawa, but he can whip him up quickly. Especially someone like Cowboy Cerrone. Ooh, nice counter hook by Vernon has made Yanagisawa duck in on that single with some commitment, and he's left his head in a sort of chokeable position there, but Vernon hasn't capitalized on it. So Cowboy Cerrone and Carlos Condit, guys who are very confident in their sort of ability to either get up or submit on their back. They can throw kicks and strikes with confidence because they don't have to worry about getting taken down. Same was if you're a strong wrestler like Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero goes absolutely nuts when he strikes. He's hurling out flying knees and jumping switch kicks, all because you're not going to shoot on Yoel Romero. He's the wrestler. And yeah, it's an interesting sort of psychological thing. Vernon's gone to sort of attempted a scissor sweep there, but he's missed it. And he's kicked across for an armbar, but Yanagisawa pulled his elbow back and smashed that bottom leg down. And so now Vernon's going to try feed himself under for an knee bar, and he's doing a pretty good job. Well, Yanagisawa's spun the knee the other way. And he's pulling up on Vernon's toes, and that's a very interesting toe hold. That's very catch as catch can. Nicely done, Yanagisawa, at 12 minutes 47. Yeah, he's got a big smile and he's shaking. I believe that's Petey My Heart Williams. I could be completely wrong, but it looks like Petey Williams. Alright, Yanagisawa is your winner and moves on to the finals against Guy Mezger. Now we have our singles match. Jason DeLucia versus Kyuma Kunioku. So Kunioku is a young boy with 2 fights under his belt. He went to the distance with Osami Shibuya and then booted Takafumi Ito's face-off. And Jason DeLucia is, of course, the previously Gracie-trained Steven Seagal deathmatch challenging UFC fighter who is now a member of the Lion's Den and a red sash in 5 Animal Kung Fu. And just as I say that, he throws out an awesome skipping sidekick. It looked like it hurt. Nice stepping round kick, but Kunio has eaten it and caught it and hit a nice takedown into Jason's fairly dangerous guard, especially for a member of the Lion's Den. Because at the Lion's Den, they don't really praise work off your back. And, oh, nice pass by Kunio. He just sort of hit a half cartwheel, sort of a butterfly kick. But Gorilla Bridge, because Jason DeLucia is, after all, from the Lion's Den. And if there's one thing they value there, it is a strong bridge. So you can see where the effort and the emphasis is sort of put where these guys are trained. A nice sort of jumping stack pass by DeLucia there. He stacked Kunio and then jumped up, and then as Kunio fell off, he hit the pass, and he's scooted right round him out, and he's working the forearm and the throat, because he is definitely a member of the Lion's Den. But yeah, you can see how sort of students of particular schools fight, and you can see where the emphasis is placed. So the Lion's Den, a lot of emphasis is placed on top control and wearing a person out from on top, and then if things aren't going your way, leg locks have that importance. Nice 1-2 and a body kick by DeLucia, but Kunioku's hit another nice takedown. And the same at the 2 Pancrase dojos. There is the Pancrase dojo in Tokyo, and there's the Pancrase lab in Yokohama. And I believe Funaki ran the Tokyo dojo and Suzuki ran the Yokohama dojo. And guys got time in it both, but you could see where people spent a bit more time. Nice pass by Kunioku there. So guys who are Funaki trained have excellent guards and sort of sweeping and attacking guards, whereas guys who were Suzuki trained focus on the takedown and taking top control. So Takafumi Ito is like a proto Minoru Suzuki, and Kiyoma Kunioku is a proto Masakatsu Funaki. And DeLucia's got Kunioku's back, and I stopped paying attention because I was marking out about the Pancrase dojos, so I can't exactly tell you how that happened. But he's under Kunioku's chin, so Kunioku might want to grab onto those ropes that are nice and right there. He's done that, and I don't know how withered he was when he did it, because he's looking a little unconscious. And this is a 5-point match, so it's at least 20 minutes. Oh, we've skipped ahead. So somehow DeLucia has gotten Kunioku down, and has passed his guard and spun to the back. Oh, yeah, I know how that happened. Gorilla Bridge, yep. Alright, I just sort of replayed it in my subconscious, and now I understand. But you can, of course, go back in the video and have a look and sort of mute me just crapping on about the 2 different Pancrase dojos. So, Jason's got one hook, and Kunioku's tried to spin and take top, but Jason sort of reached across, used the cross wrist and the seatbelt grip to pull himself around back on top. And he's in mount. Ooh, he was thinking about a rape choke there with the webbing of his arm. He's grinding the forearm in the face because he is, after all, a Lion's Den member, and that is the way to get a man to stick an arm out for you to attack. Jason DeLucia has a set of just this weird instructional video about how to use Aikido in a real fight, except you look at Jason DeLucia's fighting career, and he never did that, even in his weird sort of Japanese Aikido phase that we're not at yet, but it is coming. And he's nearly hit that mounted triangle, but Kunioku's spun out, but he's still in danger from an armbar. And so I think that's what DeLucia's going to switch to. And he's hit a nice sweep there, and he was working that armbar, and that looked like it hurt, and he's hit the triangle back. DeLucia has a really nice guard, and that is from his time at the Gracie gym. Oh, and Kunioku had a Americana there, but DeLucia was out under the ropes, so they've called that as a break outside. So let's start it again. And Kunioku's hurt a thumb from the looks of the way he's got his hands taped up. Front kick. Picking that lead leg up as a stopper is also a viable thing. You see it more with semi-shilt and other sort of long kickboxers. Nice long low kick from DeLucia, and he's hit a good sprawl, but he's run into the ropes, and so he's had to abandon it for a funky guillotine, and he's used it to roll Kunio over, and Kunio's put his foot on the ropes for the escape, and he was so worried about it, his foot went onto the second rope. That's pretty cool. Fight! Here we go. This is a big test. I don't know what it is about Pancrase, but once they decide you're doing well as a young boy, they'll throw you at either Jason DeLucia or Frank Shamrock, just to ruin all your momentum. Nice double leg from Kunio there. And back to the forearm in the face. He's past DeLucia's guard, because DeLucia got very lazy there, and he's in mount. And we'll see if he gets any offense going. And he's punching through to underhook that far arm, so we might see head scissors position. But DeLucia's preventing it, and so he's going to attack that close arm, and he screwed that up royally. And DeLucia's used that powerful bridge and popped out the back. And so he's been talking to Guy Mezger, because that's an inside wrist control. Nice wrestling. I actually don't know. Maybe Jason wrestled in school, but I know he definitely learned Kung Fu for a while. Yeah, good back control from Jason as well. And he's under the throat again, and oh, that's a pro wrestling spot. Reaching for the ropes. Took 3 goes. Yeah. Kunio's doing okay, but DeLucia just outclasses him at the moment. And DeLucia's a really big dude. Like, you don't see it because he's in the same dojo as Ken Shamrock, and he's not super shredded, but he's just solid. But he does run out of gas. He's still outstriking Kunio there. Oh, he telegraphed that high kick. And Kunio hit a nice 1-2 and a low kick, and he shot in a very good double, but DeLucia just bitched him on it. That sprawl. He's going for an arm-in guillotine, and he's working to take the back, and you had his back, Kunio. You could have stuck with that and gotten a takedown, but oh well. That's a lot for me to say. I'm just an amateur fighter. Nice straight by DeLucia, good low kick from Kunio, and a nice defensive side kick from DeLucia. I like seeing those, because those are always fun. I think the side kick is underutilized as an attack. Of course, it is dangerous, and you shouldn't sort of stick to it. You shouldn't overuse it like Sage Northgard or Paige Van Zandt, when it just gets parried across you and screws it up. Nice low kick, and DeLucia has pulled guard. And Kunio's decided to fuck that and drop back on a leg lock, and we'll see what he gets. Oh, he's used the leg lock to pass. Important thing, all ye leg lockers. Leg lock attacks are not just to abandon all position. They are, you use them to regain position as well. And he's underhooked the far arm, so he might see the next scissors attack. But no. DeLucia seems to have shut down Kunio's far leg. He's working a forearm in the throat because he's been under DeLucia for a little bit. And, spinning top control. So he did spend some time at the Yokohama dojo. That was, that looked like Suzuki. Oh, he's thinking about an armbar. He's gone to Z mount. So, yep. Definitely mostly a Funaki disciple, but with a bit of Suzuki in there. And the ref has stood them up. And we're fighting again. 1-2 from Kunio. Another 2. Thinking about a left low kick. Oh, and he shot in, and he's gotten decent penetration on that shot, and he's slung DeLucia down, and he nearly got the back there, but he's got to watch out because DeLucia can bridge people. But that is time, and that was a good little match. So Kunio got some good stuff off, but DeLucia's just too good right now. Yeah, raise his hand. He did a good job. Yeah, out the back you go, Kunio. Off to learn some more magic.
Frank Shamrock versus Osami Shibuya.
So Frank Shamrock versus Osami Shibuya. This will be interesting because they both got strong takedowns, but porous takedown defense. Actually, That's a lie. Asami's is pretty good. Frank's is not great, and Frank has got some nice striking. He's really improved it since the early days of those jumping, skipping round kicks. Because now we can haul up high kicks with the best of them. That was interesting. A stepping low kick from Shibuya. Jump clinch knees from Frank. Those are looking solid. And he's gone for a snap down, but he's missed it. Oh, no, he's recovering. He managed to stop that takedown from happening. And he's got sort of half ouch, half underhook and overhook the head. And he's spun for the back, and he's gotten to top side. Oh, and to mount. Nicely done, Frank. That was a good little transition. But they are under the ropes, so you got to walk him away from them, Frank. Otherwise, you're going to lose it. And he's trying for it. Ooh, that was that forearm in the face might as well have been an elbow there. And yeah, grinding on Osami. Poor Osami. So yeah, Sami Shibuya, I believe he trained mostly at the Yokohama Dojo, based on his primarily wrestling-based and top control attack, whereas Kima Kunioku, yeah. So our first two young boys in, Takafumi Ito and Asami Shibuya, I reckon are Yokohama Dojo products, whereas our second set, Kunioku and Kondo, are Tokyo Dojo. And Frank has sprawled nicely on Asami's attack and spun for the back, and Asami has just managed to avoid giving up his back, but now he's in gift wrap with Frank Shamrock on top of him, which is a shitty place to be. So I reckon Frank's going to try to turn this into either a head-arm choke, or he'll do that funny thing which we've been seeing a little bit of recently, where they try and wrist lock you against the canvas. No, he's trying for the head-arm, but he's missed it. Nicely recovered Kunioku, but Frank's going to walk him away from the ropes now. Yep, he's getting that walk happening. And Kunioku is pushing up on the biceps, which is surprisingly safe. Because they can't grip your arm to attack it for an armbar. So in just grappling, pushing up on the biceps is not as terrible as it seems. He's tried to bridge Frank off there, but Frank's got a very nice floating control, and that forearm has a lot of pressure behind it. Yeah, he's just grinding it on Kunioku's head. Oh, Kunioku, Asami's head. Yeah, my bad. Trying to do this all in one go. Oh, strong bridge from Asami Shibuya. Yeah, trying to do this all in one go. I'm probably going to screw up a few of the names if I haven't done it already. And I can't really be bothered to go back and edit all of my mistakes out, so this one's going to be slightly less professional than usual. Not that they were that professional. And so we'll see Frank's guard. And Frank had a decent guard for a Lion's Den member, even before, oh, look at that, snapping up to that armbar from Can Opener. That would come back later in Frank's career against Kevin Jackson. And he's got that, he's pulled it straight. Nicely done, Frank. And Asami's grabbed the ropes for the escape. So that would come back against Olympic gold or silver medalist Kevin Jackson. Nice front kick from Frank. So that same armbar attack with the from the can opener grip would work for Frank Shamrock in his first UFC title fight. Good takedown from Asami though. And so we'll see some more of Frank off his back. He's doing a pretty good job of keeping Frank shut down. As Frank tries to switch his hips, Osami's keeping him Osami's keeping him folded up, so he can't put any power into an arm lock or a triangle attack. And Sami doesn't have super great passing, so I don't know how much we'll see from him. We might just get stalled out by Frank Shamrock here. Oh, and there you go. Frank went for something silly, and Asami just went whoop, straight in the mount. And it's always discouraging when you're going for something and then you just go, oh, wait, I let that completely simple thing happen. Z mount! So Funaki's been talking to Asami as well. So we'll see how Asami gets the triangle going on. But he's giving Frank his second favorite mount escape, which is to underhook one of the legs and bridge hard on it, and you can come out either the back door or just turn the person over, and you just have to be ready to defend the triangle when you come up. And Asami is working for a technical stand-up, and Frank was thinking about leg lock, but he's given up his back. That was quite foolish, Frank. But of course, this is Pancrase, and people don't seem to care about giving up position quite so much, because the rules don't allow for much damage to be done in any position, as well as those sort of gentlemanly, let's not smack each other too hard agreements that happen in every fight, apart from other Japanese guys in Asami Shibuya. Nice leg kick from Asami Shibuya, but Frank's gotten a takedown, and Asami's fed himself under for that leg, and he's done a good job, but now they're in a toe hold race. And that's a dangerous prospect, because Frank has got a tight one, and I think it's better than Osami's. Yeah, it's much better. Frank's got his feet together, which is preventing Asami from finishing it. And he's managed to turn Asami over. But Osami's dived for the ropes, and in diving for the ropes, he managed to kick his foot free, so he didn't have to burn and escape. It's always fun seeing a toe hold race, because that's pistols at dawn. That's a real duel where it's you and the other guy, and whoever's better at that one particular move will win. Neon belly from Asami Shibuya. And he's going for an Americana, and he's behind Frank's head, so he won't be able to finish it, because Frank has got very flexible shoulders, and Frank's recovered his arm. And so now he's pulling Asami down, so we might see Gorilla Strong Bridge, or he might recover half guard. Nicely done, Frank. Yeah, but Asami's still got that leg up, so Frank's going to have some difficulty getting some offense going from there. Oh, but he's got the underhook and half guard from a man in the lion's den. So I'll expect to see possibly an explosion out the side, or he's decided to sit back and try and push up for a leg lock attack, except the ref has stood them up. So Frank's fixing his knee pads. And backstanding. Nice slap from Frank Shamrock. He's gone for a low body punch, but he's committed his hips to it, and Asami has timed that well and ducked into a takedown. But that is the end of the match, so I think we missed quite a few minutes in the middle there. I think they must have been cut out, possibly boring top control from Asami Shibuya. But some good submissions from Frank, and nice little match after 15 minutes. I always liked watching Frank under sort of palm strike and punch rule set, because he had very interesting striking in it. I always loved to work the body. Alright, and we are up to Bas Rutten versus Katsuomi Inagaki. And Inagaki is on the worst run of competitors. He's had Lucia, Ken Shamrock, Masakatsu Funaki, and now the king of Pancrase, Bas Rutten, who swung up a lightning high kick, and nice double leg from Inagaki, and Bas is trying for a guillotine, but he's also using it to circle his hips away. Nicely done, Bas, and he's gotten out and taken top position. So that is a lot better than we're used to seeing from Bas Rutten. Normally he'd hang onto the guillotine and accept bottom side control. So Bas has definitely been learning in his 3 years in Pancrase. He's trying for a Ezekiel choke, or a front choke, depending on your terminology. I don't even know if that's Ezekiel choke without the gi. But he's not getting it. And makes you vulnerable to a sweep, that one. Oh, but he's stepped over and spun for a knee bar, because he's been spending some time in the Pancrase dojo, possibly. And he's pretty tight on that knee bar, but it's not the bottom leg, so he'll have some difficulty finishing it. So he switched off to attack it with some other leg locks. And Inagaki has a straight ankle lock, and he's managed to sit up into Bas, but Bas is going to use that toe push thing again, except this time he's not grabbing the heel. So, oh, now he is, and Inagaki's grabbed the ropes, but the ref hasn't pulled Bas up on it. So that sort of toe hold / heel hook is still being allowed by some of them and not being allowed by everybody else. And we've had a bit of the intermittent fight skipped out. And so now we have Inagaki in scarf hold on Bas. And Bas has hit a nice underhook escape out the back door, and he's on Inagaki's chin. And he's got a choke, and Inagaki has grabbed the ropes for the escape. So yeah, Bas is king opportunist in his grappler. He's not the best positional player. He's not the best guard player, but if you give him any space, he will either grab something of yours and pull it off, or he will pop out and stand up and then start hitting you again. Nice strikes from Bas. Good low check there. Long body jab from Bas. Bas was on record as saying the jab didn't matter in mixed martial arts, but things have changed since then. And also, the jab didn't matter to Bas in mixed martial arts. It was a left straight. It came with hip. And he's committed to that right straight, and Inagaki has hit a nice double leg underneath it. So a lot of Bus's opinions are based on what worked for Bus, which makes sense because those are your opinions. And he's hit a beautiful reversal from side mount there. So Inagaki was too low on Bus's hips, and Bus has just sat straight up into him, and he's trying for a guillotine now, except Inagaki's head has popped free. And so Bus's love for bodywork comes from the fact that bodywork has always worked for Bus. His love of leg locks and those sort of attacks has worked because Bus always had nice leg lock attacks. The insistence that someone should roll for an E-bar every time someone had back body lock on them was because, well, for Bus in Pancrase, rolling for an E-bar when someone had back body lock on him worked. And jabs in MMA, well, Bus doesn't care because everything he throws has massive amount of heat on it, and it'll just ruin your day. So a jab as a sort of setup tool isn't really that important to him. Whereas a strong left straight with a hip behind it that'll hurt a man, that's what's important. All right, and we're seeing top control from Bus, but he's missed the dismount there, and he's wound up in top half, but he's gone to a guillotine, and Inagaki's trying to separate his hands, but you don't know how he'll do. Oh, he's thinking about the rope escape, and he's bridging up to reach over and get it, but as he's rolled, his head's popped free, so he didn't have to get it. So now Bus is on the bottom, and Inagaki could just sort of back out and pass, but he's not, because guard passing is sort of, yeah, rudimentary. Inagaki currently runs a gym, Pancrase Inagaki Gumi in, I don't know where it is anymore, but he's still sort of Pancrase affiliated, still putting guys into the Neo Blood tournaments as far as I understand. And you can still see him in corners, and Bas has hit the signature move, a damn liver kick, followed by a liver punch, and now he's working for a guillotine. That's giving Inagaki some time to read. And now Bus is punching him in the liver on the ground. Oh. And Inagaki is not happy. And now Bus is spun for another leg lock. I love spinning for leg locks out of superior positions. It shows confidence, and it shows that you know you're good enough down there. And I just like watching leg lock fights. So the current no-gi meta, everyone else is whinging about it and playing footsies. I'm like, but you know, leg locks are cool. But yeah, you'll still see Inagaki in people's corners on Pancrase shows, especially the young boys coming up, because he still runs that gym, and they still put young boys into the Neo Blood tournaments. Little exchange of strikes here, and Bus is walking his right leg up to swing up his left leg for the liver kick, and down goes Inagaki, and that's gotta hurt. Copping a shin to the liver from Bas motherfucking Rutten. But he's gotten up because Inagaki has got one thing, and that is ridiculous fighting spirit. And Bas is waving his right hand to walk his foot up and boot Inagaki in the liver again. And we'll see if he manages to get up this time. I don't know if he can. Oh, he's doing it. More heart than sense, Inagaki. He got choked out the first 3 times he fought in Pancrase. Or maybe he got knocked out by Vernon Tiger White somewhere in there as well. But yeah, he just has so much heart, and I don't know how he's not. Oh, left high kick, left body kick. Inagaki shot in afterwards. Possibly count that as a down. And now Bas has cross-faced him and broken his grip because he's got no gas to run his muscles because he wouldn't be able to breathe. Oh, I don't know how his rib cage isn't in bits. And Bas is working a wrestling ride with inside wrist control. He's working for the hooks on the back, except he's up too high. But he's managed to keep top as Inagaki's rolled into him, because Inagaki probably cannot explode right now. And he's trying to, but you can see that it's labored, because you wouldn't be able to breathe. He's trying. Oh, he's popped out the back door. Well done, Inagaki. Stand up, man. No. Bas knees him right in the liver, and they call that a down. And that is all of Inagaki's points. So that was that match. Bas Rutten, man hates livers. And the Rutten jump. Your winner at 14 minutes and 7 seconds. Inagaki, get some ice onto that. Take a month off, please. And yeah, raise his hand, because he deserves that. Because he tried. And here we are, the final of the ranking tournament.
The tournament final.
It is to be contested between Guy, the best ponytail in MMA Mesga, versus Ryushi, the tallest man in all of Japan, Yanagi-sama. We actually get full reintroductions this time. That's interesting. And Guy's knee is still hurt, and think about it, these guys have fought 2 times today, and Guy Mesga went to decision once, and they both actually fought for about the same time, so it's a pretty even match. Guy's got his karate hop on, and he's working on getting in. A long missing front kick from Yanagisawa there. And these two fought to a draw at Eyes of the Beast 6 in a pretty good stand-up brawl. And so we'll see how we go here. Maybe Guy Mesga will just spend the entire time clinching on the ropes. Nice exchange of kicks there. Ooh, these guys are swinging. I don't even know what to call that. They both got a kick and a punch in at least there each. And they're working it, and Yanagisawa is milling, throwing out high kicks and throwing punches in after them. Body punches from Guy Mesga, and he snapped Ryushi Yanagisawa down, spun to the back, and Yanagisawa has gone belly up to prevent his back being taken. So Guy's going to start working for an Americana here, and he's actually managing to pin the wrist this time. But Yanagisawa's turning away. Guy's trying to punch through and hook his grip together, and he's got his grip together. But he yanked Yanagisawa's other arm off, and that's let Yanagisawa recover. And they've stood them up because they want to see more of that brawling. So we're back at it again. Sidekick from Guy. Knocks Yanagisawa into the corner. Yanagisawa circles towards Guy's long leg. Body kick from Yanagisawa. High kick from Guy Mesga. Clinch knees exchanged. Snap down. Oh, Dude, Yanagisawa just went for a rolling Wakigatami. That's cool. He missed it and has ended up on the bottom. But, you never know until you try. Rolling Fujiwara armbar. Oh, and they've skipped a bit of the fight there to move the action on. So Guy probably sat on Yushi for a while. And Guy's got a few good slaps in. And another takedown from Guy. And Yanagisawa's turned himself over to prevent Guy from taking his back. So he's Guy's working the forearm and the throat here, and the knee on belly ride, and he's probably going to start trying to pin that far arm again. Yep, working for the Americana, the top wrist lock. And he's locking it up. Thing is, you can switch off to an armbar there if they roll up on it, and you can also finish and take the back, but Guy just likes to keep control. So now he's trying for a head arm choke, but he's missed that, so we'll go back to his standard, just riding Yanagisawa. Yanagisawa is actually surprisingly willing to go belly up, so I guess he never spent any time with the UWF, so the pin wasn't important. Not that the pin was important throughout the entirety of the UWF's life, but, less wrestling importance than the catch wrestling thing. Long body punch from Guy Mesga and a slap that had Ryushi covering up. Slung out high kick from Yanagisawa. Traded slaps. Guy fixes his hair. 1-2 from Guy Mesga. Ryushi pulls guard. That was incredibly dumb. Got a cough for a second, excuse me. Now we'll see how Guy's guard passing goes. And they're under the ropes, so I don't know how long the ref's going to let this go. Yeah, he's going to stand it up. Shake hands. Inagisawa fixes a wedgie, and we're underway again. Inagisawa is thinking right body kick. Gaimezga hits a D side kick. He goes for a hook kick, lead slap, clinch knees. Oh, lovely. I love watching Gaimezga in action when he's on. Oh, he's sprawled out on Inagisawa and hit an ankle pick. That was beautiful. He's gone for that Americana, and he's getting some decent torque on it, but he has not got Inagisawa flat. So as Inagisawa goes belly down to defend, we'll see what Gaimezga thinks to do. He's still trying for that arm lock, and he's managed to separate Inagisawa's wrists, and he's working for it, but Inagisawa managed to pull free. Yeah, so Gaimezga has two gears, exciting and action-packed, or boring as sin. And thankfully, we've got exciting, action-packed Gaimezga. Going to shin on neck ride. Yanagisawa might be thinking funk roll by the way he's hooking that leg. Maybe he doesn't know what that is, but guys shut it down with a nice crossface. So he's working the forearm in the throat. Yanagisawa's linking his hands to prevent the Americana attack. There's always that armbar on the close side guy. Guess Gaimezga doesn't like giving up position unless it's to chase a knee bar. Oh, and he's letting Ryushi recover guard, but he's decided to stand up and fixes his knee pads, which would become something of a Gaimezga staple throughout the rest of his career, and a certain man's pet peeve. So back at the distance, snapping high kick from Yanagisawa, which Guy blocks nicely. Body kicks exchanged there. Another body kick from Gaimezga, long right body kick. Yanagisawa hurls in a front right body kick of his own, and Mezga has spun to the back into inside wrist control wrestling ride. And he's sitting... Oh, is he shin riding that leg? He's gone to a turnover, I think it is. Yeah, he's going for a giant lever turnover, which is a personal favorite of mine, because the other guy can't really do much. And he can turn it into a hammerlock if you want. Oh, but he's missed it, and Yanagisawa's just flopped to his back. And Mezga, rather than fuck around and guard, has decided to stand up. So back at the distance, body kick from Yanagisawa. That would have been solid because there's a lot of weight behind that leg. Nice inside or outside trip there from Guy Mezga as Yanagisawa picked up a knee shield. So now we'll see some of Guy Mezga's patented forearm rubbing and mounting. So yeah, if ever you want to be known as a complete dick in your gym, anytime you get mount, just start grinding your forearm in people's faces. It's moderately acceptable from the bottom of guard if you're going for underhooks and overhooks and your forearm sort of works into somebody's chin, but doing stuff like this, people start not wanting to roll you fairly quickly. But yeah, I imagine that was Ken Shamrock's Mecha. Just get on top of everybody, grind it for an hour and say, right, now go do 500 to-do squats. Here's some horror stories about the Lion's Den, but it churned out some good guys. And they're being told to have a bit more action, despite the fact that their stand-up is an absolute war. So, hopping at the distance. Thinking about stuff. High kick from Yanagisawa. High kick again. Guy saw that coming and snapped his head off with a brilliant lead leg snapping round kick from the Bill Wallace style chamber. And Yanagisawa is in another universe, and he has not made the 10 count. So Guy Mezga is your ranking tournament winner. He only just recently fought Bas Rutten, so I don't know if he'll get a title shot out of this. But expect big things from this man here, with the very nice ponytail. So that was it for Pancrase Truth 3 and Pancrase Truth 4. So we had a nice little tournament there. I wasn't a fan of the chunks of the fight getting edited out. Oh, let's watch that replay of that snap kick. Bang! That thing was an absolute, just picture perfect beautiful thing. And Yanagisawa is particularly unhappy because he did throw up 2 high kicks in a row there, so Mezger obviously had a read from that first one and threw it in afterwards. And he gets a nice trophy! Woo! He says. Yes, that was a nice little ranking tournament. It was pretty exciting. I wasn't a fan of the chunks of those matches getting edited out, but otherwise, pretty good event. And I hope to see you all at our next event, which is Pancrase Truth 5, which was a bit of a marquee event because we finally have the King of Pancrase title unification match. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.